And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So out come the Texans in great starting field position. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action, and it allows him to make some special plays out there.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
3rd and 12. Now Schaub. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. The Texans send the punter out as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
23 yards, the final tally. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of the game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They go play action with Graham. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that in the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Graham going to set up to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. Instead, it's 4th down.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and out.
now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
A first down carry for Foster. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. Here's Schaub. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
3rd and 19. They're going to look to throw. He's got him in, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got it, Fedorowicz. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Going up the middle, Foster. Oh, what a juke into space. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 28. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. They'll try and run forward with Foster. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They run up the middle with Foster. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. They'll go again with Foster. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's Brown on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Graham will throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Graham. Incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Graham. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello in a big way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here's Jones on the return. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. The offense on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw. Well, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns.
We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They defer to Brown to start the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now Graham looking to throw on second down. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down. He was waving his arms, wanting the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass and you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
He saw the pressure and he got out, but he never got upfield. And the defense, they took full advantage of a rookie mistake there. They were able to add a big loss on the sack.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start on the ground with Foster, and there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. His throw incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
But Charles, this offense just can't seem to get off the ground.
But the quarterback, he has to keep picking himself off the ground because this pass rush, they've been on him so far in a big way. 3 sacks here in the first half. He might tell his offensive line, quit helping me up and just block the guys in front of you.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 20, here's the 2nd down and 9.
Here's Graham to throw it. That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They run up the gut with Kelly. Oh, nice move. And he's going to have a Browns first down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Graham. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 5. Now Graham to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Only able to gain a couple there. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Graham on 3rd down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Texans are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
They have been struggling to put points on the board so far. While you don't want to lump it all on the rookie quarterback, he's definitely the root cause. And all rookies, they have those learning experiences in their first year. What they're hoping for is that he can learn on the fly, work through his struggles against his defense, and at the same time, still find a way to put them in a position to win.
Houston set to take over. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Shaw. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a 1st down.
Now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Open man, here's Foster. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
His throw caught at about the 5. And the Texans are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
From the 2, here's 1st and goal. first and goal. Foster. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Back to throw. Graham. Complete to Newsom. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll give up the middle to Kelly.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4.
2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun. Graham. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now Graham on first down.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Out of the shotgun, Graham. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. 53 yards.
And the Browns are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now Jones.
Jones now on the return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense.
And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Avoids him at the 40. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
47 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Daniels. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Texans first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now Schaub. Got an open man. It's Foster. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. And it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Schaub. That is caught.
And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range as well, down at the 17-yard line.
Delayed give to Foster. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Looking to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Back to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7. Our scores, we get back at it on EA Sports. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a catch made by Hopkins. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Graham will throw. He'll leave it for Kelly, complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Graham going to set up to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9.
A give. This is Foster.
And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
The throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. From the gun, it's Graham. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. I mean, I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game. It comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Here's Graham to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the 1st down.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. An inside give, Brown. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
2nd down and a yard.
Off the play fake, here's Graham.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
At this point in the 2nd half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Kellen. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46.
From the gun, a give to Brown.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd down, here's Graham. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Graham here from the shotgun.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Down to about the 32.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. 3rd down from the gun, Graham. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. A give. This is Kelly. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
2nd and 10.
Now a give. Left side, Brown with it. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This now a 3rd and 4. Now it's Graham. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the first and goal.
Now Graham to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Now Graham. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Third and goal. Graham with it. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are an extra point away from evening this one up. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that about as lengthy a drive as you're ever going to see. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Houston's offense taking over again, and their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Now Schaub. Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially to skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
To Gordon, out left. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. And they go play action now. Graham. That's complete. It's Collins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Running right, here's Brown. Down to about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, Graham. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Graham. And this is going to be incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down, Kevin Stefanski trots out the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on third down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Shifts by him. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Schaub. And he'll
They'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Graham. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, Graham.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Graham.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook. They can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest game we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 3rd down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. This short pass into the hands of Njoku.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, Graham.
Complete to Newsom. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Graham now off the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll still have a 3rd and goal now despite picking up 13 yards on that pass play.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Graham will throw. And he wisely will throw that one away. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here.
And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And Daniels has it, left side. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Shaw, throw left side, complete. That's full. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 43. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. Now Foster running left. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he gets this out to Foster on the right side. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
And this one is right down the middle. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the 1st quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. 4th quarter, they cling to a 3-point lead after the field goal a moment ago, and it's certainly a very critical drive with still a good chunk of time remaining.
Throwing now, Graham on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Graham. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Graham going to set up to throw. And that is taken in by Njoku. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. So now the Texans down by a field goal, 1:53 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Back to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
He's back to throw. And Daniels has it over the middle.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
2nd and 6 coming up. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. They'll look to throw. Able to connect with Fuller. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
Now Schaub. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Daniels. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Hey, you got your first down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
This is 1st and 10.
And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Let's go, man.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout.
So it's the Browns who are going to get possession first here in overtime as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
On 1st and 10, it's Graham.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
2nd and 10 now. Graham.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? but let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game, and boy, they did it well.
Here's Jones. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. The Texans offense set to regain possession. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Now a first throw here in overtime. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Here's Schaub. It's complete to Fuller. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on second down. Schaub. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run forward with Foster. And he is going to have a Texans first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
To throw again on second down. Schaub. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. So this one in the win column for the Texans. And it was due in large part, Charles, to the play of their quarterback.
Yeah, some of these DBs are going to be tossing and turning tonight, partner. He really had their number. Wound up with well over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns to boot.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.